Okay, what if everything we thought we knew about reality was based on one single fundamental mistake? Today, we're diving into a source document that doesn't just ask that question. Oh no, it claims to have the answer, an answer that could redefine existence itself.
I mean, talk about an opening line. There's no room for doubt, no hint of maybe. The source material kicks off with this incredibly powerful statement, setting a tone of just absolute certainty. This isn't a suggestion, it's a proclamation. And this whole thing, it comes from one person, a singular figure named Hugh Bradford Cornick VI. He positions himself as the pioneer of what he's calling a completely new coordinate system for our world. Now, to really understand the weight of a claim like that, we first have to look at what mainstream science has been after for almost 100 years. A single, unified theory that explains all the forces of the universe. A theory of everything. And this search has led physicists into some truly mind-bending territory. We're talking about string theory, M theory and its vibrating membranes, theories that propose extra dimensions we can't even perceive, and yet, even the idea of infinite parallel universes. But, and this is a huge but, according to the author of our source material, this entire decades-long quest, which involved some of the greatest minds in history, has completely missed the most fundamental piece of the puzzle. And that brings us to the absolute core of the argument, the idea that science has a massive foundational blind spot. Cornick's entire case, everything, hinges on this single point, that this isn't just some minor oversight. He's arguing that without acknowledging this one missing piece, any theory of everything is basically doomed to be incomplete from the start. Now, what's really interesting here is the tone. It's so confrontational. The source doesn't portray this as a simple mistake. It's framed as a deliberate refusal by the scientific establishment to look at some kind of forbidden territory.
So, what is this great blind spot? What's the thing they refuse to touch? Well, according to the author, it's the very thing that allows us to do science in the first place, awareness itself. And here he is, formally introducing himself and his mission. He's not just floating an idea out there, he's declaring a brand new framework for understanding existence. Okay, this is the crucial point, so let's break it down. Traditionally, science sees consciousness, or awareness, as something that sort of happens because of complex matter, like what's going on in our brains. This source completely flips that on its head. It says, awareness is the fundamental stuff from which matter itself arises. And this just perfectly illustrates that massive shift in thinking. We're moving from a universe where mind is just a lucky accident of physics to a universe where physics is an expression of a primary fundamental mind or awareness. It's a total reversal. So this entire new coordinate system is built on one single central formula. The author calls it the engine of reality. But before he even reveals it, the author makes it crystal clear that he's completely bypassing the usual systems, peer-reviewed journals, scientific validation. He presents this equation as a self-evident truth, something that doesn't need anyone's permission. And here it is. This central formula that the author claims is the engine of all reality, the source equation, S equals I squared times infinity. It looks so simple, right? Yet the claim is that it contains everything. This, of course, is the immediate question. What do S and I actually stand for? And this is where we hit a critical point. The source document, it never tells us. Now, from a scientific view, an equation with undefined variables is unfalsifiable. It can mean anything, which means it means nothing. But from a philosophical standpoint, maybe that's the point. Maybe the author is intentionally leaving it open to interpretation. So, despite the fact that the equation is ambiguous, the author moves right on to laying out what he believes are the massive, sweeping consequences if his framework is accepted. The claim here isn't just that this is a minor tweak to how we see things. No, according to the source, accepting this equation would trigger a complete and total revolution in human thought. He then lists pretty much every major field of human knowledge you can think of: physics, biology, philosophy, theology, and claims that every single one of them has to be rebuilt from the ground up. I mean, just imagine. Biology no longer starting from the cell, but from the idea that the cell is a manifestation of awareness. That's the huge scale of the revolution we're talking about here.
And this new world is described with some really profound philosophical ideas. A recursive existence? That suggests a universe that's constantly creating itself. Eternal information? That implies nothing is ever truly lost. And infinity is no longer just a weird math concept, but a totally necessary ingredient of reality. And the document concludes exactly how it began, with this powerful, unwavering declaration from its author, restating his name, his role, and his core message that a fundamental turning point for humanity has finally arrived. So, what do we do with all this? The source gives us this radical new picture of existence, centered on an equation with undefined parts. It challenges the very foundation of materialism. Is it, like it claims, the key to a whole new era of understanding? Or is it more of a powerful, modern manifesto of philosophy, just dressed up in the language of physics? That is the big question this document leaves us with.